We're live now.
We're live? Okay.
We're live now. Yeah.
Awesome. Hey everyone. It's Ashur from Langbase here. I am a founding engineer over here at Langbase, and I've been specialized in backend related tasks over at Langbase. I've been working with mostly US agencies over the course of my professional career, and I've been working with Langbase for like over a year now. Sakib, can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. Hey, folks. I'm Sakib. I'm one of the founding engineers and AI lead at Langbase. So anything related to AI that you see at Langbase, I'm likely responsible for that. So yeah, we are excited for today's live stream. Usher is gonna talk about building composable AI agents. So over to Usher.
Awesome. So today we are going to build an AI, composable AI email agent, and what it's going to do is like it's going to take your email content and basically pass it through a couple of different agents and process it, and then it basically help you out with whether or not you should respond with whether or not you should respond to your to the to your emails, incoming emails or not. So it goes by like in the couple of different steps. So for first you have to prepare a summary of an email. A summarized email agent will do that for you, and what it will do is like it will prepare a summary for your content, email content, and then after that, once in parallel, what you will be doing is like you will be passing it to another agent called analyze sentiment agent, and what it will do is like analyze the sentiment of the email for you. So basically you we both of these processes will be happening at the same time. And then once your workflow has decided, like you have once your workflow has the email summary, both your email summary and the sentiment of your email, it is going to decide whether or not it's going to whether or not this email needs a response or not. So basically over here what we'll do is like we will implement our React based architecture, uh, which basically will take your email the sentiment of your email and the summary that the previous agents has generated, and it will decide like on the basis of those two inputs that whether it should respond or not. And once that is done and the email respond your decision maker basically comes back to you, comes back to the workflow and says that if it is a spam, it will not it will decide not to respond to that email,
Sure.
and if it is a spam, sorry.
Sure, it would be probably great if you could show that versus just talking about it
Sure.
because I think it's becoming too much. I think we have, the drag and drop thing in our docs. Maybe you want to
Yeah,
share that part of your and like go over that
definitely.
would really
Yeah, yeah.
make it easy. While you do that, um, Sake, what are you thinking about like this uh, AI email agent, especially in context of MCP, which just went uh, you know, uh, uh, I don't know if you saw, but Anthropic just kind of agreed of removing their persistent layer, and they are going to now support HTTP, streamed data, which will make it really, really useful for a use case like this, right?
Yeah, I think the adoption we are seeing around MCP is already huge, and with this persistent layer moved, I think it's just gonna go up. And something like what Asher is gonna show with building email agents combined with MCP, you already have your personal assistant taking care of all of the emails for you, fetching in all the emails, writing the replies, and whatnot. So I think I'm super excited to see where it goes in the coming days.
Awesome, awesome. I think the demo we have at the bottom here, Asha, you can probably go over that, like the flow diagram, right? You might want to
Yeah,
zoom in.
definitely is.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, probably a lot
Awesome.
more.
Is that
Yeah.
fine?
No, no, no more. I can't read anything.
Okay.
Probably good enough. You wanna press Command
Awesome.
B so the sidebar kind of goes away.
uh,
Yeah, there you go.
awesome. All right. So here we have, folks, a, a a presentation of what we are going to build today. What's going to happen is that, like, you'll send a valid you'll receive a valid email, and what's going to happen is that, like, in parallel, this workflow is going to use the email sentiment and agent and summarize agent to make a decision, basically, to generate the email sentiment and summarize the email. And on the basis of those two variables, it will decide whether your email needs a response or not. And then once it has make a decision that obviously this is like, I'm stuck, user is saying that I'm stuck and frustrated because the billing API is not working, and the documentation is outdated. So obviously the sentiment, the email sentiment agent came out with this frustrated, and it's summarized that. And so it needs a response like urgent and it's set the priority to urgent and respond to true. And now it's going to pick an email writer. So an email writer is basically will select the tone of your email, like in which tone you should be responding with, right? So you have like your professional, your personal, your friendly tone, or whatever.
So Ashar,
In your email, right? Sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
so Ashar, in this particular example, if you want to scroll a little bit up, are we creating all of these agents on the runtime, or are these created beforehand? Like, what are we talking about here?
So all of these agents are created at Langbase beforehand. So we are
So, like,
in
it's like,
the workshop.
yeah, so it's like, I think you could have it either way, right? You could have it completely autonomous, where
Yes.
an agent would completely orchestrate worker agents, or you can have
Yeah.
more control over this workflow by pre-creating these agents, which is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Where you have more
Yeah.
control
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
what happens, right? So, okay, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have all of your control, and you don't using our SDK, we are so you can create all of these agents by yourself and have more control over your data. And then yeah, so once you have your email writer, you have your pick email writer has basically picked out the tone of the email. It will feed that into the email writer, and all the data that it has previously, the workflow previously had, and it will pass basically generate an email response for you. So for example, now what I'm going to do is run it for a spam email. So the spam email, basically what we have received here is that, congratulations, you have been selected as the winner of $100 million lottery. uh, I wish, but okay. So send the spam email. So what's going to happen is that the email sentiment decided that it is a happy sentiment, and summarizer obviously said that you have won $100 million lottery. But the decision maker over here decided that this is a spam, not and does not need a response, which is 100% correct. So this is what we are going to build today.
Awesome. Let's
Awesome.
get started on code, right?
Yeah, let's get started on code, and I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. And what I'll do is I'll attempt doing live coding today, so bear with me.
Awesome, awesome. Sakib and I are happy, like, we are not doing that. Right? So, hopefully, the live coding part goes well.
Awesome. Yeah, hopefully this one goes as well as goes good as well.
No worries, no
I'm
worries.
really nervous.
We're
Awesome.
also starting
Uh,
starting yeah, we're also starting a lot of examples that we are pushing out later this week. So
yeah.
watch out for our docs. I think we'll be putting out like maybe 50 agent examples that we've been building, right? Pretty excited about that. But Ashar, you wanna go start? Maybe use the lighter shades of purple theme.
Oh yeah, yeah,
On a stream, this
definitely.
one becomes really, really hard to read.
Yes, 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 yes,
I know how much you
definitely.
love the
Okay.
super dark mode, right?
Oh, I love that. I love it. It's so good on my eyes.
Okay, awesome. Let's
Okay.
go.
Awesome. So here I have just created an empty directory. As you can see over here, there are no files over here. So what I'm going to do is, like, I'm going to initiate my project. So let's see, pnpm I need init, and I'll create two files. One is going to be index.ts, and the other is going to be agents.ts. I'll put all of my agents in the agents.ts file, and then I'll run the main workflow from index.ts. So I'm gonna go ahead and run this command, and here it has like created my set up my project, and basically set up the package.json file for my project. And then now what's going to happen is that now I'll add two packages. So first of them is Langbase SDK, and the other one that we need is like .env, because we will be needing environment variables for our project. So we need to read environment variables in our project, and that package is going to help us with that. So let's add land.env to our project. And once it's done, I need another package to, since I'm using TypeScript, so I need node types. So I'm going to install that as well. So all of that is done. I have installed the packages, the dependencies that I've needed for this project, and now I'm going to go ahead and create my environment variable. So I need an e.env file where I will add my Langbase API key, and then I'll just copy and paste my own key. Don't worry, I'll delete it after this live stream. I'm just using it for the purpose of this live stream. All right. All right. So next, what we are going to do is like we have to fork five separate agents that we are going to use in this project. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen with you, and basically hold on, just give me
Yeah,
1 second.
just a quick comment. Maybe you don't want to show the environment variables in rotated right now because this is live. I think I completely forgot. And yeah, you can.
Definitely.
I'm probably gonna quickly go ahead and hide your window on the stream. Then do not show the environment variables again. This is
Okay.
live, right? So go ahead, rotate it.
I'll,
I'm probably gonna
I'll
go ahead
rotate.
and hide. Let me know, right? So when you're done. While
Definitely.
that is happening, Sakib, again back to the MCP part. Like, what are your thoughts on what they just did? Like, it just I just saw the news spec earlier this morning.
Yeah, same. I got up and I was like scrolling Twitter and I was like, okay, new development. I still need to read up and catch up on that part. But yeah, I think
I think you've been distracted with that Ghiblify thing.
yeah. I mean, everybody is doing that, so why not, jump on the bandwagon and
Do
make
you
some
know
images. And I
what
think
that is?
OpenAI
Like,
is really,
do you know what that is? Like, I don't know what
I
Ghiblify
think
is.
it's Korean, some Korean cartoon or something, if I'm
Oh, okay.
correct.
Okay. I tried
Yeah.
to creating my like. I think with the new image model OpenAI just dropped. I kind of hate to call it an image model. I think it's a lot more than that. But one fun thing that happened today was like I was able to like do this. Let me actually quickly share my screen, and there you go. Right. So yeah, no, where is my screen? Give me a minute. Uh, Sharing my screen now. There you go. Right. So this is completely built by that model. I am amazed how quickly it was able to capture the idea I had in mind. There were like a couple of repetitions, like build AI agents without any bloated frameworks, and then it starts here. But yeah, I was being lazy as well. I wanted to see if the comic part would just work based on simple text prompts. And for someone who really wanted to be a sketch artist when he was young, this is all kinds of good for me, right? So I don't know,
This is
thoughts,
amazing. Like this is amazing. Like it captures the idea of Langbase so well.
right? So I just gave it access to our docs, and now I have so many ideas, like do this and do that. Man, I think OpenAI single-handedly killed, like, I don't know, hundreds of startups that were trying to do posters and this and that. This is huge. Let me know, Asher, are you done?
I'm good. I'm actually going to go ahead and share my screen
Okay,
again.
you can get
So
started.
now, yeah. So for this part, basically we need like five, as I spoke before, like we need five different agents to set up our workflow, right? So what we are going to do, again, we're going to have an email sentiment agent. We are going to need a summarizer agent, decision maker, big email writer, and the actual email writer, which will write the response of your email. So here I have all of these open on my screen. So what I'm going to do is like it's right now probably present in the Langbase example repo that we have. So organization that we have, and so what I'm going to do is like I'm going to fork all of these into my profile so that I can start using them. I'm going to go over here and quickly choose myself as the pipe owner, and I'll fork the pipe. Now, also, this is the summarizer one, decision maker, and big email writer. And the final pipe is the email writer. So now that I've forked all of these, I'm going to quickly go over what is happening in this pipe. Is like we have a stream mode off for this because we only need like the sentiment of the email in our workflow or inside our workflow, and this is not going to be user facing, so it does not need to respond. It does not need to stream. So it's going to analyze this agent is going to analyze your email, your sentiment analyzer. You will analyze the user email sentiment, and I've given it a proper format, and the output is going to be always in JSON. And then whatever whatever email that I will send it, it will be basically added to this user message. Next, oops, I don't think this fork has been created. All right, I think I'm missing this one as well. This has been forked, and this one also has been forked. So all right, so this one again, this is a summarizer where you'll summarize the content. Again, I am going to be the output of this agent is going to be in JSON format, and the response format is going to look like this. Like it's going to send me a summary, and the summary will be summary from the LLM will be put over here, and then I'll read it in my workflow. Now we have decision maker. This is again is going to be in JSON format. Streaming is going to be offered, and then it's going to respond in this format. Pick email writer is going to be basically picking the writers from these tones: professional, informal, formal, casual, and friendly. And it's going to be also responding in a JSON format. And now we have finally the email writer itself, where that it will basically it'll do is like, yeah, write the email, the response of your email. And this is I have set to stream mode on because it's going to stream to me, and I'll show that streaming on my end to my user. Awesome. So now that we are done doing now that we are done for forking all of these pipes, let's get back to our code. So I'm gonna quickly share my other screen where I have the code, and now let's get started. Now, so first of all, I'm gonna go into the agents.ts file, and I'm gonna quickly import Langbase SDK from Langbase, and I'm gonna import .env. Sorry, I think .env .env, and now I'm gonna initialize Langbase, and uh, and I will give it the API key. Awesome. what is it saying right now? Language. Oh, all right. Hmm.
I think
Undefined. Oh,
can be
it
undefined.
always says like yeah. Awesome. So now let's go with the sentiment analysis. So here we have like what we need to basically in the sentiment analysis. What we need to do is like we need to uh, copy all of that. Basically, we need to pass the sentiment to this email content to this sentiment analysis, sentiment email sentiment agent. And then right now, what I have done is like I have the name of the pipe here with me, and which is called email sentiment. And I have set JSON mode to true, and I am doing the streaming. Set to stream the false, stream to false, and then I have added the messages for this pipe. Okay, so this is like you are a sentiment analyzer. You will analyze the user sentiment and respond in
Can you
JSON.
can you
That's it.
Ashar, can you tell me
Mhm.
why you are putting stream to false on this one?
So I'm putting stream to false on this one so that I'm able to respond, basically receive my completion in not in a stream format. I want a JSON response, right? So this is why
But
I
but
need.
but 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 JSON could
Mhm.
also be streamed, right? I'm wondering if this is not user facing and you are
This
putting
is
stream
this
to
is
false.
exactly, yeah,
Oh, okay,
exactly.
okay.
One of the reasons is like this is not user facing, and this does not need to be streamed to the user, so that's why we don't need it to stream. Uh,
Yeah. One
mhm,
thing I would like to point out is when you're putting JSON to true, it's always a good practice
mhm,
to tell it like respond in JSON as well, right?
mhm.
Just superposes that fact and probably give an example of what that JSON structure looks like. But for now, we can like move forward with that. Generally, what I do is like I give it like this is how that JSON should look like, right?
Mm-hmm.
JSON's JSON should look like. It's hard to pronounce these two words together, but go ahead.
Awesome. So now that yeah, so though again, repeating what we have done here, like email sentiment agent, it's going to we have defined an email sentiment agent. It's going to take in email content, and it will add basically here we have basically langbase. We have initialized langbase.pipe.run, and we have given it the pipe name. We have set the JSON to true, and we have set the streaming to false. And now we have basically in over here we have give it a messages array where tell it like I've told it like system this is my system prompt over here, and this is going to be the email content is going to be coming from my user. So now next what I'll do is like I'll receive when I receive the response from Langbase, I'll take out the completion and parse it, because again we are receiving JSON. And then basically on the we'll just return the sentiment of the whole of the agent basically sent us. And so now next up is summarizer email. So what summarizer email is going to do is like summarize your email. And for here, like I think so this agent is going to basically create a summary for your incoming email, right? So it's going to need a name. It says yes, again set JSON. We will set it to true, JSON to true, and stream to false, because we don't need it user facing. So this is just our workflow, our app doing working working to basically get all the pieces of the content together. So now I have given it a system prompt, which is like you are a content summarizer and you will summarize the content without losing context. And I've given it a user message, basically as an email content here. And I'll at the end I'll just when I'll have the response dot completion, I'll parse it and take out the summary from that completion.
Asher, can we, before moving
Hmm.
all in, can we just run one small part and then just see how it is going, and then we can build on top of
Oh,
it?
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah, definitely.
this
So
way we can have
let's
an easy flow.
Yeah. Let's go and let's go ahead and basically have a small run. So let's import the email summarize as a sentiment agent that we created and the email summary agent. And of what will I'll create a workflow here, and then basically it's going to take in the email content and it's going to basically call uh, the email sentiment agent and log it to basically to our console log, and then it's going to basically create the other one is going to be summary. So let's now run it. So to run this thing, I need to give it an email. So let's say user email is going to be like, I am I am very happy with this. I am really disappointed, frustrated with the service. It was not up to my mark, and that's something that basically my Copilot generated for me. Awesome. So now what I'll do is like I'll run the workflow and give it the user email. All right. So now, moment of truth. Let's run this thing. PNPM DLX DSX. So basically, what right now what I'm doing is like NPX equivalent of NPX DSX equivalent of running this thing in the console using PNPM. So PNPM DLX DSX is going to be the command for me, and
So
once I
what
run
does
it,
DLX do?
so DLX is basically NPX equivalent of
Oh, okay.
basically this thing, right?
Okay.
So I think I messed up somewhere here.
Oh, your API key is missing, I think.
Probably.
Yeah, hide the stream before
I
you add.
think yeah. Yeah. I think API key is there, but I didn't initialize the .env
Okay.
config for some reason. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and run it. Okay. Now it's doing something. All right. We got the sentiment and we got the summary. So
Cool.
the
What was the
frustrated with
input again?
subpar service. So the input was, I am really frustrated with the service I received. I was not up, it was not up to the mark, and I expected much better.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you can do something about it, right? And then I gave it to the workflow to run it. All right. So the sentiment, of course, is frustrated. The customer is frustrated right now, and the summary is like frustrated with the subpar service, expected better, and hope for improvement. All right. So let's give it a spam email as well for just fun. So let's give it a spam email like congratulations, if I can spell it. You won a $1,000 Walmart gift card. Okay, and click here to claim your prize. And we are going to pass this thing to the workflow as spam email. Let's see what it comes up with. So sentiment is neutral, and summary is that you have won a $1,000 Walmart gift card. Click to claim. Okay. So now, now that you have won the $1,000 Walmart gift card, let's see if it needs a response or not. Before going ahead, like I want to basically run both of these things. These things does not need to be basically run in serial. So what I'm going to do is like I'm going to make them parallel. So run parallelly, parallel tasks. And well, this basically is going to, let's move this, move, uh, hmm, and then this, and then we have the sentiment. The first is going to be the sentiment, the other is going to be summary. So let's log it.
So can you explain why
Now,
are we going with parallel
so
sequencing?
basically, yeah, basically both of these two tasks does not need any input from each other, right? So these does not need to be happen in a serial manner. So that's why we will run them in a parallel fashion, so that we can save time on basically getting back to our user with better response time. Is that Does that make sense?
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome. So now I'm going to run it again just to make sure that it is working. And we have got everything in parallel, and it took much less time. Awesome. So now what we need to do is like we need to decide whether our $1,000 Walmart gift card email needs a response or not, right? So the next thing that we are going to do is like we are going to make a decision. So that basically takes us to the decision maker email. The decision maker agent. So should respond to email agent basically, and it will take in the summary that your summary agent has created, and it will take the sentiment that your sentiment agent analysis agent has created, and it will decide basically on the both basis of both of these inputs that does this email needs a response or not. So first of all, let's see. We have langbase.pipes.run, where basically we are telling it to run my Langbase pipe that I forked on Langbase Studio, and the email the name of that pipe was decision maker, and then I need the response in JSON because right now I don't need it. I don't need to send it to the user, and then I have stream set to false because I don't need it to stream, and then I have messages. So I'm setting my system prompt to something like, let's see. You are a decision maker that analyzes and decides if the given email requires a response or not. Make sure if the email to check if the email is spam or not. If the email is spam, then it does not need a response.
So, so,
And
so quickly
mm,
jumping in
yeah,
here, right? This is more like a multi-agent architecture, but put in very simply, right? So, there one agent that is
yes,
creating a sentiment, another agent in running in parallel, and to run it parallel, we don't have to do anything funky, right? So, like, it's just how your programming language works. We do promise.all, right? And so we get a sentiment, we
yeah,
get a
exactly.
summary, and then we create a manager agent of sorts. In this manager agent, how fun the fun part I like about this is it's coming after the fact, right? Generally, what I see in the community is people start with a manager agent, send it everything, and then
Hmm.
ask that manager agent to distribute responsibilities among different worker agents. So this architecture is different. This
Hmm.
simplifies a lot of what a manager agent needs to do. You do this and that, and then you send all of that to a manager agent, like completely, kind of turning the tables on that, and ask it to like respond with should we be responding? What category would you say is this email? And maybe the priority, right? And I'm assuming here, going out on a limb here, this manager agent will have the best LLM, right? Because this is where you want
Yeah,
something that has reasoning, or maybe something that is maybe a little bit more expensive to make a decision. Whereas any cheap LLM can do summary, and a much cheaper LLM can do sentiment, right? So we can do that at scale. So
yeah,
if you get like a huge email and it's a spam email, you're not wasting money on that, right? Stuff like
yep,
that. So what this manager agent is going to get is just a summary, a one-liner summary of that email. So you're not, this architecture is already multi-agent, optimized for speed and optimized for cost, right?
yeah,
Yeah, we can
yes.
move forward. Right?
Awesome. So again, repeating what Emma said, you're basically giving everything that your manager needs to make a decision, and you're making its life easier. And here, basically, it's going to decide like it's going to have the email summary. It's going to have the sentiment, and it's going to decide like whether you need to respond, what is the category, and what's the priority. All right, so let's go ahead and run this thing. So I'll go here and I'll just quickly import it, and then I'll basically add it over here. So I'll see like if response response needed, and if a response is needed, it will tell us like, yeah, you need to respond. All right, so let's go ahead and run it. What are we running against? Spam email. Let's see what it comes up with. So the sentiment again is neutral, and response is not needed at all because it
So
has detected
even
like
though, yeah, so even though the sentiment was neutral or whatnot, the LLM that
yeah,
is more expensive, it figured out that, oh, nobody's gonna win a lot in 2025, right? So definitely not an email,
yeah,
right? So yeah.
exactly. Now I'm going to run it against the user email that we got, the customer email, frustrated one, and the decision is that it needs a response. So that's set to true.
How about
Awesome.
we go ahead and now write the response as well? When a response is needed, we have all the context now. We can feed all of that
Yeah.
context. Like this was the email.
Mm-hmm.
Response was needed. So maybe we will
Mm-hmm.
feed in the entire email, not the summary,
Mm-hmm.
and then we
Mm-hmm.
will create a response from that. Let's go and make that happen.
All right. Let's see. Let's see if we can make that happen. So what we need is a email writer, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and basically create an email writer quickly. Export const email response agent, and it's going to have a summary. No, no, no. So sometimes Copilot is wrong. So it's going to have a write. It's going to have a writer because I'm going to give it a professional tone, and it's going to have the email. So sorry. Uh, all right. So let's now. So we are going to receive a stream from Langbase. Pipes.run. We will have the name of the uh, is name of the pipe is going to be the email writer that we previously forked, and we are going to set stream to true now because it's it needs to stream. And now let's go ahead and then pass in the messages where we are going to basically set the system role. You're an email writer, you will write a response. You're an email writer that writes a concise to the point email to your user. Okay, and then next we are going to pass it the email tune email tune as the writer, and then email content as user email content, and that's about it. So now
Sure,
let's
won't
let
we
me
need the
just close the thing. Mhm.
sentiment and need response and everything?
Sorry.
Won't we need the sentiment result as well and the summary?
So right now what I'm attempting is basically I'm attempting to pass it the whole thing, the whole email, and see what it comes with.
Okay, and what's the writer string there?
So the writer string. This is going to be the tone that basically I'll pass it. Basically, it's going to be the set as an email tone, and it's going to be what I'll do is like I'll pass it a
No, no, no.
professional tone.
Oh, okay,
Sorry.
okay, okay, okay. Go
So
ahead.
because for our use case right now, we need to generate a professional response, right? So that's what I'm going to do over here.
But did you create
So
the writing agent?
yeah, the email writer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've created that, and now let's just if response is not needed, let's say no response needed and return, and now send the response. So over here I'm going to basically quickly import it, and then I'm going to set this tone to professional, and I can pass it the summary as I can also pass it the email content. Right now, I'm going to pass it the email content. And the next thing that we need to do is we need to stream the response. So right now we are going to we are going to receive an email stream over here. So for that we need a runner. So I'll do is like runner
I guess we can just get
equal
started
to
with the
get.
regular output, and then we can convert it.
We can do that, or we can something do something like this. I'm think it's run on content, and then quickly I'll use not this thing. It's because it's going to be very clunky. I'll use the std out dot write con and data. All right, so this is going to be a string for me.
Can you
uh, mhm.
quickly explain where the get runner is coming from and
So
what we are
get
trying?
runner is coming from, yeah, so get runner is coming from our SDK Langbase.
Yeah.
We provide this out of the box from in our SDK, and what it does is like it takes in the stream. It basically transforms it into content, and basically do all the back basically processing for you, because in
Mhm.
stream, well, you're receiving a lot of data, and are basically what it allows you to do is like not deal with all the complications of streaming the data, and just do it right away using the runner on content call.
Yeah.
Is
Basically, the stream that you are actually getting from LLMs is a server-side event stream, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
it can be complicated to manage, right? So what we did was we gave you a runner so you can run that stream, right? And
yeah,
it also, because the data you're getting are events data, so most of these events are chunks, like chunks of generation, and the runner can run those events. And because these are events, we also have these runner dot on, like for example, Asha, if you were to copy this entire thing, like want to remove runner dot
missing.
on content part, right? So the content part,
Sure.
just the content part, just just remove the content part. I want to show what
This
other,
one.
Just
where
the
it
first
says,
frame, I think, the content.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So now press probably control space,
control space. Oh no, control space.
alt
Things is
alt
okay.
space.
Hold on.
Oh, there
Ah,
you go. Right. So we
this
have
works.
all these events that we can use, right? So
Yeah,
when the can you stop? Like, yeah. So
sure.
when maybe scroll down a little. We have tool calls, refusal data, block props, all of the fun stuff, total usage. But there's another one. Can you scroll up?
Sure.
Uh, so final chat completion, right? So if you want to do something on final chat completion, when everything in the data we got in the stream just got completed, you want to post it somewhere, whatnot. So all these events exist, right? And generally what you really need is on content and on connect, right? So the moment you start getting a stream of events, you can do something. In the moment it starts sending you some content, you can use that data to show it to the user. In the moment it ends, you can the final chat completion, right? Or the final content, you can do something with that final content, right? So go ahead. Just wanted to point that out, like this is what the runner does. Basically, makes it really easy for you to handle events that you are getting on the stream, right?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go and run it, and let's see what email response that it comes up with. Frustrated with the poor service, needs a response, and now it's writing the email. So as you can see, like, thank you for sharing your feedback regarding services we have received. I apologize for any frustration this has caused. Understand how important it is to meet expectations, committing to improving our services, and I'll ensure that your concerns are addressed. Thank you for understanding. Best regards, your name, position, and company. So basically, what it has done is like it has taken all the inputs from you about the email, about the tone that you need your response in, and then basically it has wrote a response for you. So right now what we are doing is like we are passing it the whole email content directly But we can also do that using an LLM agent. So basically, an agent basically. So those two agents. So right now we need two other agents. Not two other agents, just I think one, because we have completed like sentiment and summary. We already have. We already know whether we need to respond or not. And now we just need a tone picker, an email tone picker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'll add an email tone picker over here. So basically, what it's going to do is like it will have it will take in the email summary and the email sentiment. And what it'll do is like I'll basically over here doing langbase.pipes.run, and what pipe am I running is the peak email writer one, and I need the response again in JSON. I don't need to stream it because it's not user facing again. And then basically what I'm saying to it, again, you're an email tone picker that analyzes the input and picks up the response email tone. Pick from professional, formal, informal, casual, and friendly. Okay. So, and there I'm basically right now in the user role. I'm giving it the content like email summary is here and email sentiment is here. And then once I receive
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. Sure,
completion,
sure. You wanna console log all of this, so when you run it, we can
sure.
see what the tone was picked. So probably
So you want
console
me to
log the
console
completion.
log the response
Yeah, the completion.
completion? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I can do that. So let's
Maybe
uh
below this. Maybe below this.
see. Okay. All right.
Just the completion, right? So in not
Yeah.
do not call it response. Do not call it that. Maybe
Let's
call it
say
the
email writer.
yeah.
All right. So now I'm gonna go
Do the
pick
same.
email writer agent.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to uh, pick email writer. Sorry, I don't const and writer tone equal to, and then basically I'll do this thing. I'll import it and I'll pass it in the sentiment and the summary. Sorry, what happened here? Am I not exporting it correctly?
It is exported.
Expected two arguments. Oh, I think I gave it the arguments in the wrong way. All right, so writer tone, and now let's go ahead and console log this thing over here. But
I don't know about
I
you. I
think
always
we should.
prefer. I always prefer giving arguments
Mhm.
in a object, so we know what we are sending, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, me too. But over here right now, I think I've done it this way. So let's go ahead and run this thing. So uh, let's go ahead and let's see. I'm going to quickly comment this thing out because I don't need to run it right now, and I just want to show the writer tone.
but the console log is also commented out.
No, I basically I'll receive the completion over here. So right,
Okay,
so
okay, okay. Got
I'll
it.
just know like oh, this completed. So right now we need a professional tone. So let's integrate it into our agent. Yeah, so let's go ahead and basically comment this thing out, and let's put it here and pass it to our email writer as is. All right. So now it's going to have the email response agent is going to have that writer tone, and it's going to have, let's pass it in the summary because we don't need to pass it the complete email. And let's
I
see,
think
this
you
is
should not
in
be
the email.
passing. I think you should not be
Hmm?
passing it summary, you should pass it the complete email. We have verified that this is an email we need to respond to. It needs the
Okay.
complete email to be able to create a better response versus a summary, right?
Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
we can do that. Awesome. Um, all right. Let's see. Now I'm going to run it again. This is our final run of our email agent. Let's see. So now the sentiment again is frustrated. I'm frustrated with the pure service, expected better, and now it's writing their complete email for you.
Yeah, there
So
you go.
there you
So,
have
so,
it.
so we figured out that the email that we were getting in was had a frustrated sentiment. We can see the
Yeah.
summary right there. And then another agent figured out that the response was needed. It also figured out, the manager agent, that the writer for this particular type of email, you should pick a professional writer, and we can create multiple writers. I remember in my workflow where I have, I think probably now more than 20 different email writers. So basically I respond to my mother differently, and I respond to, not that my mother is sending me emails, but like I respond to my you know friends differently, my investors differently, my board differently, that kind of thing, right? So it picked the professional email writer agent, and then we passed all of the email alongside the sentiment to that agent. And to that agent, you can create all sorts of fun stuff. You can have all sorts of example responses in there for it to know how your support actually responds or how you actually respond. And you can even grow that to have a memory agent of sorts. Like you can build a memory store. I was just having a conversation with someone today, and I told him our memory agents are like durable objects, but instead of having SQLite inside of durable objects, we have a vector store inside of memory agents, right? And it blew his mind, like, oh, now it hit him hard, like, oh, now I understand what memory agents are. It's a small compute package with a vector store inside of it, right? So basically, you can create a memory agent, put in, I don't know, thousands of emails in there, and use that to probably address some of your tonality of your email that is going to be created, or it can also inform the spam part of your architecture. I would probably generally only use it for spam because I get very creative kind of spam. Being a founder, I get like, oh, so somebody told me that you are doing this right now, please see the response below. Like, it's nobody told them, it's just a way to do a cold outreach. So I put all of those emails in a memory, and if any of those emails sound relevant to what the email I get right now, you know, that relevancy basically signifies a high score in spam. And I can just like I don't like ask my email agent to disregard it. I just disregard the priority we have to respond with those, right? So they become late priority tags, and someday I get to them when responding to them, right? So you can do all sorts of fun stuff here, right? Anything else left?
Yeah.
Uh,
I think we are done. That's about it.
Awesome, awesome. So, just to quickly wrap it up, uh, I am probably gonna do a quick review here of what just happened. Let me see.
A
Sakib is.
successful live demo happened.
It didn't break. It didn't break, right? So
Oh, it
Yeah.
was my
I
first one.
I tried my best, to make sure that it did, but no. Okay. Here we are, right? So, it's a very simple example where we built in a set of EML agents. All of these are composable. We are composing the response of one with another and creating a system or a team of EML agents, right? We were able to create a summary, analyze the sentiment, and then we made a decision maker agent that decide based on these. And if it decided to respond, it picked the right tone and finally generated the right response. And we have the source code available in Node.js, Next.js, and Python. We even have a live demo, like this fun stuff. Like, for example, I'm stuck. Billing API is not working. Sentiment and email generation summary, got this particular summary. Frustrated user. We should reply. The category is primary. Pick the professional email writer. Here's the email, right? Otherwise, we can do something like, I don't know, you won a lottery, right? So like this demo also works, and you can click any of these email writers, or like click this decision maker and it will probably take you to the pipe we have, which is again a demo pipe, where you can see how we are doing all of this stuff, right? And getting back to the guide, I think that's pretty much about it. There's not more to it, right? I will encourage you people, everybody watching the stream, to uh, take a look at our agent architectures example. Yeah, these agentic architectures have a lot of fun stuff in them. I like the fifth one where we have orchestrator worker. Based on the input, a decision maker, an orchestrator decides how many number of agents it needs to create on runtime, right? And it creates those workers and basically does some sort of deep research of sorts. And then we have another agent that synthesizes and aggregates all of that, right? And you can do this with about what, I don't know, like less than 80 lines of code. Here's the worker agent, here's the synthesizer, and here's the orchestrator. And the only thing it needs to do is create subtasks. And if I run it, let me actually see what we are asking here. Benefits of remote work, and I care about work-life balance, environmental impact, and productivity. So it orchestrator comes back with a lot of subtasks. By the way, Sakib, can we format it with, like, I don't know, JSON wise? So like each of these are on a separate line. It's easier to see all the subtasks, right? And then the worker uh, agent starts and it starts responding to all of the tasks it figured out, right? So here's a subtask. Let me actually just do this. Subtask one, right? So this one is, where is it? This one is on the benefits of remote work. This is the output. And this one is on the productivity piece. This one is the output, right? Work life balance, again, another output. And it goes and on until it gets to conclusion. And the synthesizer then aggregates all of this. You don't have to just write content based on this. Like, you can build any sort of fun stuff here. Like, you can build your own version of deep research in your own space, in your own premise. Like, for example, you can research what type of e-commerce product that you have on your e-commerce store is selling more and why. And it can do the deep research of going through all of your data, analyzing your SQL queries and all of the fun stuff over 100 different products to figure out why which product is selling more versus what are the patterns on other products. Like, you can build any kind of fun architectures over this, right? And more so, give me a minute. I think I'm probably gonna reduce the my video to 720p. Okay, and there are more agent architectures here as well. So evaluator, optimizer, an augmented LLM with automatic tool calling, and our memory agents that you should definitely try it out. And then again, composable AI email agents example, and all of the agent architecture examples. And watch out for this area. In just about a week, we are about to publish 50 different agent examples here, which I believe everybody would really enjoy. That's pretty much about it. We can probably take in any questions people have now. Adnan is asking if there is a way to get a structured response out of an agent and then validate it using Zod or something. So yeah, we support the structured output API from OpenAI, and you can use that and use Zod to validate those outputs. It's pretty easy to do. I don't think we have an example for that handy, but you should be able to figure it out from our API response. I actually just sent this after reading your question to one of my colleagues, and he'll be publishing an example for that pretty soon. We do have some fun examples in our SDK repository. Like, if you were to go on Langbase SDK and inside the examples inside Node.js, probably not look at all of these. We are about to publish these, but probably just go inside the memory one, and you'll see we have so many of these now. Like, if you want to filter memory, retrieve it in different filters on top of metadata, we just published them, like, yesterday. I would love for you to try these out. Like, for example, if you want to search and retrieve a memory where the company name is Langbase and Google, and what are Python language, like this kind of fun stuff. Pretty simple examples. But the plan ultimately is that we are going to publish these examples into our docs as soon as next week. Any more questions?
Cool. I think we are already running out of time. We can move the questions to Discord. I just put the link down below. Everybody watching, they can go ahead and join Discord and drop their questions there. I think team would be answering that.
Awesome. This was pretty fun. Join our Discord, langbase.com/Discord. It's a new server that we just set up. By the way, I really like the new Discord design. It looks more premium than Slack all of a sudden. So I've been like hanging around in there. And thank you, Usher, in Saket, for doing this. Take a a quick breath now, and we'll catch you next Thursday. And by the way, in Discord, reach out, tell us what our next workshop should be next week. We are probably going to announce it in a day or two. So any feedback you have, we would love to go with that. Take care. Ciao. Peace. Use your code for good.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.